Does Cow Jungle work in ranked? Yes. Cow Jungle is really not that bad. I think she's good anyway. I'm not going to go for a Feral Flare this game because I don't like Feral Flare overall. I think Feral Flare is pretty weak. Some of you guys may think I'm being hypocritical because I bought it last game when I was playing Rengar, but basically Kale does pretty well with the Spectral Wraith item, and also I'm going to have a lot more pressure coming out playing this jungle than I will be when I'm playing Rengar. I'm going to be doing more ganks and stuff like that. I'm going to recall right here because I'll be level 4. There's no gank going bot lane. And in fact, let's see if we can do anything mid. If I should, what does she have? She has ignite, so she doesn't have heal, which is the big one I was looking for. Which means that if I run at her, tag her with Q and E, she's probably gonna die. I don't know why she's this pushed up against Ziggs anyway. Someone in that bush or what? Wow, she fouled her flash. There's some pepperonis, mate. Right, let's go top actually. Who's their jungler? Jax. If Jax gets on me, I'm okay with Jax actually. I'm actually probably stronger than him, especially with red buff. Although he'll have red buff as well, I guess. But I'm probably stronger than him, and if anything, he definitely can't kill me. Careful, Rango. Oh my goodness. Yes, I am. Right, so from me saying I was going to recall, I've now done 2 ganks and got 2 kills, so that's nice. What do you do for mana sustain on an AP jungler? All you can do, outside of mana potions, which you can get, but you wouldn't want to get too many of them, maybe 1 or 2, throughout the whole game that is. The biggest one is your Spirit Stone. So that's actually how you can calculate whether or not a jungler is particularly good. If they get a Spirit Stone and they still struggle with clearing, with sustain, specifically mana, when they're clearing, then that champion is probably not a very good jungler, because then you're going to have to... There are always 2 problems with that. Firstly, you're going to have to find a way to compensate for the fact that you're not... you're running out of mana, so usually that means mana potions. And secondly... The second reason is that you're always running inefficiently. You're never running at full capacity because you don't have the mana to run at full capacity all the time. So whether that means that you can't gank too much because you're out of mana, or whether that means your clear speeds are going to suffer because you're out of mana, basically it's that kind of stuff. So if you're running out of mana a lot, that's the problem. Let's go see if I can get Kayle again. She's got no flash, so we can try something. This is good. She's going to face... Wow, that's kind of unfortunate. She face-checked me as I was... She face-checked me as she was warding. That's always ugly to see. When you face-check the jungler. When you go to ward and you run into the jungler or something. That's always quite unfortunate. That's always quite sad. I'm just going to clear these out, probably then get the white and then go for blue buff. I would actually like to take blue buff, this second blue buff. I always like to take the second blue buff to if I'm snowballing, because then I can snowball even harder. I'm going to take this white here before blue spawns. But Ziggs is very good with blue, and he is also snowballing. So whether I get it, whether he gets it, both of us would be good with it. And if he really wants it, I'll give it to him. Sounds like something Queen Phoenix would say. But no, if he really wants his blue buff, then I'm not going to take it from him, but I am going to, it's not, me taking it isn't a selfish act. I don't feel like I'm being selfish by taking this. So, I'm just going to take it. Did I say anything about my runes? Yes, my runes... Well, actually, no, I didn't, but I will say something about my runes. Runes and masteries, careful of Jaxarino. My runes are attack speed reds. Attack speed is very good for applying your passive, I believe. Yes. And also, more specifically, for getting more hits off on your E. Making the most out of your E, attack speed is very nice for. Also helps you clearing the jungle, obviously. Armour yellow is pretty standard. AP Blues and AP Quints. That's just because I am magic damage champion. So that's a pretty straightforward page. I also run that page on Diana, and I used to run that page on the old Gragas as well when you had an AD steroid on your W. But I don't do that anymore. So I might have to take this one away. Yeah, I'm going to take that away. Where are you going, Sonny Jim? Nidlee's closing in on me, so I need to be kind of afraid. But I wasn't too afraid because I knew I wasn't going to die, so that's okay. I didn't even use my ulti. So yeah, that's my rune page, and my masteries are 2190. You kind of want to go, you want to lean towards more of a magic build, magic damage build, AP builders, that kind of stuff. But you also, like, hybrid stuff is very good. So Spellblade is very nice, and Blade Weaving and Spell Weaving are amazing on Kale. And also attack speed is very good on her. So you can get the attack speed, you can get the CDR. You can get so many things on Kale in the offensive tree. You could probably go 30-0-0 on Kale. And honestly, it would be a pretty good choice still. So yeah. I'm actually going to go top here because Rango is getting zoned for no reason. Well, by no reason I mean he's getting zoned, but I can prevent it. So I'm going to go and prevent it. There's no point in him just, you know, getting screwed by Jax because he wants to sit in a bush. Die, Nidalee. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run. No, I shouldn't have flashed that. My plan was to get one last E in before I flash. I wanted to wait for my Q to come off cooldown before I flashed in, because then I could get. Oh shit! I could be in trouble here actually. Yeah, I'm in trouble. This guy needs to come and help me with a bowler. Okay, good. Thank you. My plan was to wait for my Q to come off cooldown because I could then flash in, hit him with my E, and tag him with my Q, and that burst would finish him off. If I flashed in earlier, then my Q wouldn't be up. He would react to my flash. Basically, I wanted to burst him down before he could react to my flash by flashing himself. Unfortunately, the mistake I made was as I flashed in, as my Q came up, my E went down. So I couldn't get that burst in, and I ended up just failing. So I wasted my. Well, I didn't kind of. It was kind of a wasted flash, but at least it forced her flash. But basically, I didn't get the kill, which is a shame. But you know, I wasn't going to get the kill anyway. I don't think. So I'm powering through the jungle a little bit now. Sometimes if there's nothing to do, or if you're too far away from certain places, just farming the jungle is fine. Especially on Kale, because Kale clears very, very quickly. When you've got blue buff as well, it's even more so. I'm gonna recall now and get my Nash's Tooth. So Nash's Tooth I'm gonna buy because I really like. Oh, this isn't Nash's Tooth. This is Stinger. Sorry, not Nash's Tooth. Stinger builds into Nash's Tooth, which is a very nice item on Kale. Cooldown reduction is very good on her because she has a lot of utility in her kit. Whether that's a heal and speed boost, whether that's her ultimate immunity, whether that's a slow on her Q. You know, she has very good utility. And even after that, cooldown reduction is very good on casters. Cooldown reduction, I like to think of, this isn't necessarily true, but it's somewhat true, that cooldown reduction is kind of like a caster's attack speed. That's not necessarily 100% accurate statement. That's more of an analogy, I guess you could say. Because casters, like AD champions have different, like, lots of stats for offensive, so whether that's crit, attack speed, armor pen, or AD. Casters only have two, which is magic pen and ability power. They don't have crit or attack speed. And cooldown reduction is a nice, it fills that hole quite nicely to get you more damage when your skills are. Obviously, the more frequently your skills are up, my blue just spawns, the more you can use them, the more damage you put out, basically. So that's all good. So our blue just spawned. I'm definitely going to give this one over to Ziggsy. I could use it like really nicely. I could get a lot of use out of this blue buff, but I'm okay giving it over to Ziggs because he's also going to get a lot of use out of it. And when I get my Nash's Tooth, I'm going to get even more mana regen. No, wait, they removed the mana regen, didn't they? I don't know why. I keep thinking that. I keep thinking that for some reason that Nash's Tooth gives mana regen, which it doesn't. Like, it hasn't done that for a really long time, so I don't know why I keep thinking that. But no, you know, I don't need it basically. I could use it. It would be very nice on me, but I don't need it. So we give it over to Ziggs, who can then. Ziggs is probably one of the best champions with mana regen, with blue buff, sorry, because he can just spam wave clear. He can do so many things. Now I don't want to pop my E here and clear this because it's going to shove the wave really hard. I'm just going to base last hit with my basic attacks and with my Q. I don't want to push this. I want to save it for Rango, so he can decide what he wants to do with it. Whether that's push it, whether that's slow freeze it, whatever he wants to do, he can do. But I think I'm farming the jungle a bit too much right now. Like it's never necessarily a bad thing to farm the jungle, but I think sometimes there's more. Oh wow, that hit the cannon. I didn't expect my E to hit the cannon. And sometimes there's better things you can be doing than just farming. And I think of all, you know, of all the mistakes for you to be making, farming too much is quite a small mistake. It's like a first world problem kind of mistake, because at least you're getting yourself farmed, at least you're doing something useful. Like farming is very, very, well, I don't think it's ever like completely pointless. Actually no, when you've got your 6 item build, then farming is completely pointless, providing you're not like getting bloodthirster stacks or something. But you know, it's never really a bad idea to be farming. But like I say, sometimes there's just more you could be doing, and right now I think this is one of those times when I think I can be doing something better than just perma farming the jungle. And in my opinion, what I could be doing better, what I could be doing more useful, is to be pushing the waves down and trying to fight. I have so much damage, holy shit. Right. He was 4-1 before that as well. Jesus, I just absolutely shredded him. Kale's totally not broken. I should probably time this dragon actually, because that's something important. I'm recording now because I've got my Nash's Tooth. I want to buy this Nash's Tooth. It's a pretty big. It's in my opinion, it's kind of like a semi-power spike on Kale, where you get it and then you have all your bonus on hit damage, which is really nice. I mean, the stats itself are amazing on Kale, but then the on hit is just even better because it synergizes very nicely with your E. Your E basically gives you on hit, and then your Nash's Tooth is giving you even more on hit. Now I'm going to go top lane here. I could go mid and hold this and push it out, but I'm going to go top because this looks like it could be a pretty good tower dive opportunity. And tower diving on Kale is really good, really easy, and a great tactic because of your ulti. I mean, you've got a heal, you have pretty good damage, and you have your ult to block out the tower damage as well. So people can tower dive with you, and it's all good. Now, I've actually kind of made a mistake here. Oh no, I haven't. I made a small mistake then, but it didn't actually matter in the end. The mistake I made was using my W here, so that wasn't like I didn't engage that gank with my W because I was kind of chasing Kale for too long. But it came up towards the end then, so I could use it, and it ended up not being a mistake. So that was good. We mop up 2 kills there, which is really nice, and we can try and do something here as well. We can actually dive this guy as well. Like I say, with my ulti, dives are really easy. I'm gonna whoever tanks the tower. I'm just gonna instantly use my ult. Like, oh god, please don't die. Pop a potion. I'm alive. Maybe I shouldn't have used. I don't know. I wanted to use my ult to block the tower damage, and as soon as Rengar took the ult, took the tower aggro with his E, with his bowler, I just shoved my ult on him, and that was all good. Although I did mean that I almost died, but I didn't die, so that's fine. Especially considering he's on a squishy build. He couldn't tank that tower for very long, so I guess that's good that I used my ulti on him. So yeah, like this is why if you don't run a tank in your team, but you've got Kale, your team comp is usually often quite good. Like Kale is, I mean, I said this in challenge set and loading screen. I really feel like Kale is one of the most broken champions in this game because there's a million reasons why, and one of the reasons that I want to talk about right now is just like her synergy with team comps, with champions, with everything. Oh wow, that synchronized ulti though. Like, you can run squishy team comps. You can run squishy team comps and be okay because Kale can ult. You can run heavy engage and dive comps and be okay because of your ult. Like, who'da thunk that something which makes you invincible to damage for a certain period of time is so strong, huh? But I mean, she's very, very versatile. She's probably the most versatile champion in the game as far as the situations you can stick her in. She's very, very good. I'm recalling a bit too much now, actually. So the different choices of boots you can get on Kale, both of them are good. Berserker Greaves and Sork boots, Sork shoes. Sork shoes is better for burst. Berserker Greaves is better, obviously, it's synergy with your E. And if you're going for an Ash's Tooth build as well, it kind of becomes even better. You just become more of a strong duelist than a burst mage. But I don't really feel the need to do that right now, and I'm thinking the burst is going to be quite nice. So I'm just going to get Sork shoes. If I'd got Berserker Greaves, that would be fine too. Either one of those is good. And I'm going for a Lichbane as well now because Lichbane is an amazing item on Kale. Your burst, I mean, I said that word a bit too much actually in the last like 10 seconds, but Lichbane on Kale is about as core as Lichbane on TF is. Not as core, but pretty much as core. There are a lot of good items you can be buying on Kale. Let's go in on this here. I'm just going to go on the Blitzcrank because he's the one closest to me. Maybe I should have left that kill for Draven. Does he have many stacks? No, he has 12 stacks. That's okay then. I'm going to speed up Braum here because he's the one with the CC. If he can get his passive off onto this guy, then that'll all be good. Is that hit? Nice. I don't even want to hit that guy because I'll probably kill him, and I want to give the kill over to Draven. Let's see whether we can get that red buff here. I'm going to ward this. That's going to be a nice ward for our bot lane as well because I don't have a tower here. Someone's been asking in the Twitch chat for me to talk about deep warding. There's not really much to talk about. It's just when you put wards deep into the jungle because you need deeper vision. Whenever you have towers down, your lanes will push further, and when that's the case, you then need to have deeper vision in order to, like, you're more outstretched. You've got more bases to cover, which means you can struggle from something called, well, I don't know whether this is the correct term as far as LoL goes, but the term which I always use for these kind of situations is diseconomies of scale, which basically means the bigger something is, the larger it grows. I should probably be careful how I phrase this, but basically the larger it is, then the harder it becomes to manage. So this term is used quite frequently in business. Basically, if you have a small company, a small business, and you employ, say, 3 employees plus yourself, it's really easy to make sure you're getting the most out of your employees. It's really easy to make sure your business is working at full efficiency because you're, there's just not a lot. You can easily just go out there and be like, yeah, you've got 3 people, and you can go and do that all yourself. However, if you were the CEO of like Pepsi or something, which is a multi-million-dollar company, probably multi-billion-dollar company probably as well. You employ thousands of employees, and it's not even in the service industry. That's like manufacturing, because you're manufacturing Pepsi. How hard is it to make sure, even if you've got one factory to look after, and you can make sure that factory is working really nicely, but if you've got hundreds, thousands of factories, how do you make sure all of those factories are working effectively? So that's kind of what diseconomies of scale is. The bigger something is, the bigger your company is, the harder it is to make sure it's running at full efficiency. And that's kind of what I was talking about. When you've got the towers down, you have more lane to cover, which means that it becomes harder to, there are more weaknesses. There's more holes for you to, there's more holes for you to get exploited from. And to be perfectly honest, maybe that's not an accurate analogy, because it's not necessarily to do with efficiency, more over the fact that your lanes are just longer, I guess. But still, it's that kind of theory. The bigger it is, the harder it becomes to manage, and the more you need to be careful of having wards down, the more areas you can get ganked from, that kind of thing. So I'm just taking down this tower here now. Like, we're so far ahead, we need to push that advantage. We just need to take these things out. We just like we can do this. So why delay the game by not doing it? We're grouping up. We're taking towers. We're making the most out of this, out of our strength. And you know, once there's nothing more to do, like here, there's no point us trying to push down the Nexus towers because there's only 3 of us. They're going to be they're going to be respawning, and then we're going to be out of position, and we're not even going to be able to push the towers down, because even if they can't kill us 5v3, which they can, but even if they can't, then there's no way we'd be able to take them on plus the Nexus towers. So there's just no point being around, so we may as well recall, which is what I'm doing now. So I've got a lot of gold here, so I'm going to recall and buy some items. What I'm going to buy is my Lich Bane, and then I'm going to also buy a Zhonya's Hourglass. I think Zhonya's Hourglass is really, I think it's a very good item overall. In general, it's very nice. But especially on Kale, you kind of have 2 invincibilities. You have your ulti, and you have your Zhonya's, and it's very powerful combination. It means you're not as punished for ultiing other people because you have the Zhonya's for yourself, so you don't have to play as selfish. I'm going to take this blue over here because this has been up for years and Ziggs hasn't taken it, so I'm just going to take it. I assume if he's not taking it, he's not that interested in it, and he doesn't really like need it. He's got other things. He's fine for mana regen and CDR. I don't need this. Actually, with blue buff, I actually have cap CDR, so that's nice, I suppose. I mean, you can see my burst. I kind of want to show my burst, but I don't want to die because I'm 6 or an 8, so I'm worth a lot of gold. But I want to show my burst on someone, but I need to be kind of careful. Also, a mistake I've made here in my inventory is that I haven't sold these health potions. I've just kept them in my inventory from early on in the game. I should have sold them and bought some wards, but I just got warded. Someone asked, Feral plus Spirit Stone, what do you think? That's commonly referred to as Mad Stone, if I'm not mistaken, and I think it's so my opinion of Mad Stone is that it promotes too much of a selfish play. You're dedicating way too much gold into non-combat stats, which means you're really weak early on in the game, which means that you have a strong incentive to not want to leave your jungle. And firstly, I don't like that playstyle. I think it's extremely tedious. Look at that burst, holy crap. I think it's extremely tedious, and I also think it's kind of toxic is the wrong word, but it's that kind of thing where you're basically just throwing all your teammates under the bus, saying they're rubbish, they're dumb. Well, no, that's maybe an exaggeration, but it promotes the opposite of team play. It promotes too much, in my opinion, too much selfish play. Selfish play, though, having said that, I may sound a bit hypocritical because I do believe that selfish play is the safest way to be playing this game, to be playing League of Legends. Being selfish is oftentimes better than playing too much for your team. I think it's better to be too selfish than to be too team orientated, because it's solo queue, you can't rely on your team. But I think Madstone takes it a bit too far. However, having said that as well, I also feel like if you know what you're doing, if you're playing someone who perma-farms the jungle, then I think Madstone can work. If you're someone like Master Yi, I know Trick obviously does it on Udyr, even Nocturne if you want to play that style, I think it's okay, but I would never recommend it to someone, personally. Whoa, that burst. Holy crap, I don't think Kale saw that coming. I didn't see that coming. GG, well played. That was a pretty good game where I just ran around beating on people and talking about random stuff. That's always the best games.